Republican incumbent John Duffy defeated Democrat Kelly Westland and Green Party candidate Lawrence Dale. You see there with 99% of the precincts reporting Duffy receiving almost 60% of the vote. Westland coming in second with 39%. And this morning, the newly re-elected congressman joins us here in studio. Thanks so much for joining us, and congratulations on the latest win.
Hey, thanks very much. Thanks for having me in.
Now you've had,
early.
yeah, I was going to say you've probably only had a couple of hours of sleep, but how are you feeling this morning after so many months of campaigning?
Listen, really good. I think it was a good night for us last night. It was a good night for Wisconsin and the Republican Party and nationally, and it was a good night for us. So it was exciting for everybody.
And that's one of the things I wanted to talk to you about, too, is, as you mentioned, a big win nationally for the party, the Republicans controlling the House, and now the Senate picking up at least 7 seats there. How does this kind of change things when you go back to work?
Well, so we keep talking about all these bills that have passed. We've passed 350, most of them bipartisan bills that have gone to the Senate, and they don't get picked up, they don't get debated, and they don't get negotiated, and there's this gridlock, but it really isn't happening in the House, it's happening in the Senate. And so my hope is that we can actually get some momentum in the House and the Senate, in the Congress, to pass legislation and get good bills over to the president. This is not a Republican-controlled government now. It's still a split government. The president hopefully will engage, and we'll be able to get things done, is my hope. But Harry Reid had been the roadblock, and now hopefully that roadblock will clear, and we can start moving forward on those issues that really everyone agrees to. And in the House, there are so many issues, so many bills that are bipartisan that just the Senate won't pick up and debate.
And how do you think that will work with the president? Do you think things will be able to kind of progress, or will set up more future showdowns?
Well, listen, he has to make a change and say, am I willing to work? Do I want to get stuff done? And if he does, I think there's a willingness on our part to make that happen. But he has to make that choice himself. And he's, for the last 6 years, had the opportunity to have Harry Reid stop a lot of the bills. Harry Reid has been his veto. Now we'll be able to actually engage in a conversation, hopefully with the president, and truly move the ball down the field.
Now let's talk a little bit more about the election itself. Your opponent, Kelly Westland, said that she knew she was behind in this race. Let's hear one more bit from her about going up against you.
A lot of people told me that I was taking on the near impossible, that I had nothing but an uphill fight on my hands. And, you know, maybe they were right.
Now, you did win with quite a margin, 60% of the vote. Do you have anything that you would like to say to Kelly Westland or her supporters this morning?
Well, listen, I know about uphill battles. I challenged Congressman WAOW, who had been here for 42 years. Nothing's ever impossible. But, you know, for us, people talk about the campaign season. Really, for me, there isn't a campaign season in that I'm working this hard all the time, doing parades, fairs, festivals, dairy breakfasts, town halls, coffees with your congressman. I think people appreciate that. And when their government isn't working well, they want to have a say in it. Even when it is working well, they want to have a say in it. But I'm there to listen and get their feedback and insight, and I think they appreciate that. And I think tonight they rewarded us with that vote. And in this district, that's pretty awesome. Almost 60%. I'm thrilled with it.
And now that the election is over, what are some of your biggest priorities now?
Well, beyond getting my leaves off my lawn, and it's going to snow tomorrow, I'm concerned about that. Justin, thanks for that snow forecast. But looking forward, we have to have policies that are going to look at how do you grow small business in America? Because in central Wisconsin, we don't have big multinational corporations. We don't have big government that employ our families. Really, it's small businesses. And how do we have policies in place that allow those small businesses that put our families to work to expand and grow and create more opportunity and good paying jobs right here in central Wisconsin? That's one we're going to work hopefully on tax reform, making it fairer, flatter, simpler. It's a complicated code. I think it's a drag on our economy. American energy independence. I mean, those are some things that I just think make sense, that it will be easy to hopefully pick off and work with on the president. Well, tax reform is going to be complicated. I don't want to put that as a simple objective, but I think it's possible we could get that done.
All right, well, now that the campaigning's over, I know a lot of people will be keeping a close eye on how things go moving forward. So thank you so much for being here this morning, and congratulations on last night.
Listen, thank you so much. Thanks for having me on.
And we'll be right back after this.